Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining me, giving me a few minutes of your time. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to talking about a recent Zillow study out of Zillow Research. And they do this every quarter, and it surveys what homeowners are planning to do. And it always has really good data. And this is no different. This article is full of tons of really good data. And so it can kind of be broken up into a few buckets. First, I'll just give you the headline numbers, and then we'll get it. I'll show you some of the charts and stuff. So first, it has how many home buyers are planning to sell in the next 3 years. And the answer is 19%. And that stayed pretty consistent the last couple of years. So 19% of homeowners are either have their house listed or planning to list their house in the next 36 months. In that group, urban homeowners are slightly more likely to list their house at 23%. And if you look at it regionally, southern homeowners have a slightly higher intention than the other regions at 21%. The article also has some good data on interest rate distribution. 11% of mortgaged homeowners now have a rate above 6%. And something really interesting they found, that homeowners with interest rates between 4 and 5% are the most likely to consider selling their home. It's not the ones with the highest rate, and it's not the ones with the lowest rate. The ones with the lowest rates want to hang on. The ones with the highest rates just got it, and so they want to keep their house. They have the full list of reasons for selling. We'll go through all these, but the top reason is they want an upgraded home. Second is they want to sell their house because it take the profit out. 56% of homeowners prefer other homes versus their current ones. Makes sense. And 39% think they're going to get a better deal right now. Now, there's some influences about the housing market, and it is conflicting. 40% of sellers are motivated with recent changes in mortgage rates. 34% are motivated because they think home prices are dropping. But at the same time, 32% of homeowners think they're going to get more for their house today than tomorrow. So I don't know what all that means. Reason for not selling stays the same. It's been the same every quarter. The number one reason, people like their house. 73% of people really like their house and they don't want to sell it. 44% believe they can't afford a new home, and 39% said, "Hey, my life's too uncertain. I don't think I can't deal with moving." Interesting, 31% of home sellers plan on moving more than 60 minutes away from their current house, which means 69% plan on staying within 60 miles of their current house. Now, let's go ahead. I will share this article with you right here. Let's look at some of the charts. Here's the selling intentions right here. Almost 1 in 5. You see 19% of current homeowners think they're going to sell in the next 3 years. You can see that's above pre-pandemic, slightly below the last couple of years, but that's a pretty solid number. As we move down, here's the breakdown. Of the 19% of homeowners that say they're going to sell the next 3 years, 15% of that group already have their house currently listed. Half of that group say they're going to list the house in the next 12 months, and the remaining 36% think they're going to list a house in the next 2 or 3 years. Now, this next graph is really interesting here. It talks about with no selling intention, might consider selling after 3 years, or intends to sell in the next 3 years. So you can see purple down here, pretty flat. Those are people that intend to sell in the next 3 years, 19%. However, the people that think they're going to sell after 3 years is increasing. This number is increasing. It's now at 39%. That's pretty high. That's good. And then the people with no intention of selling has dropped from 56% to 42%. So what this graph tells us, this is a really important graph because it tells us more people are considering selling now or in the future, and fewer people are saying, "I'm just never going to sell." And so that's a really good thing. We don't really care about the regional difference. The urbanacity simply speaks, the urban people are more likely to sell than non-urban or suburban people. This section right here talks about the distribution of mortgage rates. You can see it goes into every, for example, I like this one right here. Q3 2022, the largest share, 30% of mortgage owners had an interest rate between 2 and 3%. Only 5% had a rate above 6%. Now, less than a year later, that's dramatically shifted, and that's what they're saying. The interest rate distribution is definitely going higher. And here's the actual. Here's what's interesting. This is another really interesting art, and I usually don't go chart by chart, so I apologize about this. But notice this is the likelihood to sell. People that are likely to sell in the next 3 years, and by far, it's people with that 4% to 4.99%. As you can understand, people with less than 2, less than 3, they don't want to sell their houses. People with higher than 6 or 7, they just got their house, so they're also not as motivated. But who would know that 4.99? Reason for selling, you can just go straight to the chart. You can see, want to upgrade, 55%. Don't have to face repairs in the future, 32%. Want more outdoor space, 51%. Want a home office, 28%. On and on. So you can get all this great data right here on why people are looking for a new house. And then here's the market influences, which are conflicting data, because some people think they got to sell because prices are increasing. Some people think they have to sell because prices are decreasing. Some people want to sell because there's less competition for homes. Some people want to sell because there's more competition for home. I didn't get a lot out of this section. I did get, this reason for not selling, it's pretty much stayed the same. People don't sell their house because they love their house, 73%. They just got a renovation completed, so they want to enjoy it, 37%. 44% say you can't afford a new home. 35% is their financial situation is uncertain. And so it goes. And you can see how that splits. There was one thing that caught my eye in this. It said here, 16% of people don't want to sell because they're in some sort of payment plan where their payments have been paused or reduced. Who knew that? Yeah, they're in some sort of payment plan, so 16%. And that's higher than in previous quarters, by the way, in previous years. So more people are getting into payment plans, which is surprising to me. Very surprising. And then this is the last thing. This is that distance, how far people are moving. It's color coded. Same neighborhood. They're going to move the same neighborhood. That's dark purple. Different city, less than an hour away. That's a weird mauve color. The same city, but different neighborhood is purple. Isn't that interesting? Most people are going to move to stay within the same city, just move to a different neighborhood. The dark red here at the bottom, it's actually moved to a different part of the country, and the purple is moved more than 1 hour away. So there's what you got. That's what we have in this report. This is a really good report. You're going to want to check this report out for yourself. I only covered, let me back up here. I did a full LinkedIn post on this. I summarized each of these sections. I gave 2 or 3 of the bullet points, but 2 or 3 bullet points in no way covers all the data. This data is super useful. It's very useful if you're a loan officer to go and talk to your real estate agents about. It's super helpful if you're talking to possible home buyers. It's very helpful when you're talking about the home sellers. One of the things that I didn't mention is that the more comfortable a seller is that they can find a house they want and afford it, the more likely they are to sell their home. And that was really evident in the survey. And what's happening here? More home sellers are gaining confidence that there's plenty of inventory so they can find a home, that they think that they can now afford the house, and that they're still going to get a good price for the house they're selling. So we're starting to move into a sweeter spot for homeowners to sell their houses, and that was really good news. So check out the article. Check out my LinkedIn. I appreciate you guys checking me out. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day. I look forward to talking to you again soon.